Marc Davis, NBA official. What season are you in?
My 27th.
27th season.
It's been that long.
NBA official. That's a long time.
Just finished my 26th.
Oh, wow. But he's gonna talk about the second period of the play at UIC. I talked to you guys about the first period. He's gonna break down stuff. Do you need this?
Yeah, I can use that. Let me use this shit real quick.
All right, so Marc Davis.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be in front of you in this group because I was in that same seat some 30-something years ago, just getting started officiating the MOA. At the time, it was top-notch, but everybody there was in the MOA. MOA is a historical organization. One of the first, no, not one of, the very first African-American male officiating association in the country. Started by a couple referees and a couple coaches, so we have some representation in the city, and it's a phenomenal organization with a lot of success. 4 NBA officials come from publicly, come from MOA, as well as at least 2 that I know of in the NFL, hosted Big Ten officials in all sports, men and women. I'm just proud to be a part of that group, and part to represent that group of partners. So I know you guys have been going through a lot of stuff over the weekend, so I thought it's best to just get right into it, and we'll just take this interactive and we'll see where it takes us. But there's a couple plays, a couple decisions we want to talk about, and just talk about the basics of what we discussed last weekend and this weekend, and then everybody pay real close attention because it's going to be interactive and you're going to participate just as much as I will. So let's just start off right off the bat. The second quarter? Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. I can pause this with what?
No.
Oh, you pause. Okay. All right, so let's just watch this. Since 7:14. Yep.
What time?
Just let it play. So freeze it right now. So where do we say at the trail position we're supposed to be? Where are we supposed to be at the trail position? What's one of our readings? Speak up a little bit. Okay, the ball is over there and the trail is supposed to be able to see there, but do you see it any closer from here than you see it at the sideline? So we should be attached to the sideline, right? No? Correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes.
Yeah, attached to the sideline. So keep going, play it. Well, let me take one step back. So when we're watching tape, I've refereed forever now. I'm 56 years old. I've been refereeing well more than half of my life at this point, which is crazy to think about. And I've watched every single game that I participated in over the last 30 years. I watched the videotape after the game, the next day. I've always been able to critique my performance. And I think it kind of goes into the mindset when you're watching tape. Because you are looking for mistakes. Because you're looking around the edges to see what you can do better the next time. You're looking to check yourself. Because I made a ton of mistakes. I've never had a game I did make a mistake, but I never made a mistake on purpose. So you got to remove yourself when you're watching tape from any defensiveness about any mistake you make, because you didn't mean to make it. And it don't make you a bad official, it just makes your decision bad, or it makes your process not correct. So we always constantly go to the very basics. The very first thing I look at when I watch tape is I look at myself and I say, how do I physically look? How do I look on tape? I need to lose a few. Am I looking all right? How am I moving? My left leg is bothering me. Can everybody tell? Because everybody's watching you. And they've been watching you all night. But this will be your first opportunity to watch yourself when you watch the tape afterwards. You got to be critical of yourself, but not defensive. And you got to be critical of yourself and just realizing that nobody's never going to clap for you. But you can make little changes that you know you should be doing. You didn't realize you weren't doing. So the trail should be over to the side. So let's switch play. And freeze it for a second. And Lee is not, and at the slot center position, go back a second there. Okay, freeze it right there. So the center position, we don't turn our back to what we're supposed to be responsible for. The center position is responsible for everything down the middle of this line, everything on the weak side, right? he takes a step down and crack him. Can he see that? No. But if he's facing this way, I can see Clarence, I can see Pam. Clarence, raise your left hand. I know he moved something that gets my attention. Pam, raise both your hands. I can see that out of the corner of my eye. But if I'm looking, focused on Pam, is she going to touch it? Clarence, you can do whatever you want to do. I can't tell you what it is, right? So these are reasons why we stay with our basics. Sideline to our back, and then we just moving our eyes, just pivot and find out what the next action area is. So now this, look, you might get away with this for watching this a whole bunch of times until the one time this person co-pops that person. Or this person on the bench tosses a little something at them. And so you want to be your habits, is what you do habitually every single time that makes a difference all the time. So once again, so we're looking at it. So we want trail back further. Trail can see that. Wider, has control over the angle. You see that? But once the ball goes across lane line extended, who's responsible for it? The center's responsible for it. And then once the center's responsible for it and he's looking at it, where should these eyes be? Someplace else, right? At least work your way back up. We'll get to that in a moment too. It should be focused on where the help's going to be coming, what's happening here, there, and you got to pay some attention there in case something blatant happens. Keep Clarence, you push play. So this is a like a red dot.
Green.
Green. How do I make it do it?
Push the green
Oh,
button.
got it. Push the green button. All right. Wow, that's amazing. All right. All right, pause. So I always take a look at this. So then, once you make a mistake in a game or something you didn't realize, don't beat yourself up about it the rest of the game. You're probably gonna make that same mistake the rest of the time because you're not out there watching tape. But when you watch it, you can see the second time you're looking at it, you're seeing, is this a habit or I just get a one-off? So now, different official, but now we're on, and where the trail official should always be what? Coming in transition should be what? To the right or to the left? To the right. The trail official should be, depending on what sideline, right or to the left, depending on what side we're going, how many strides to the right or the rear of the ball? How many strides behind? 4 to 6 strides behind. Coming up here, there's no defense. We get prepared for the next one, that's fine. But we want to be over here on the sideline. And we'll discuss why we want to be on the sideline in a moment. Okay?
Call that sideline oriented, right?
Sideline oriented. Sideline is your friend. Okay, freeze it. This is why the sideline is your friend. Go back a clip. All right, freeze it now. Let's put the trail official right here. We're refereeing the defender, right? So from right here, he can see this defender well, right? No difference in seeing this defender from here and seeing this defender from back here. Would you not agree? In terms of a still shot of a picture. When you place yourself here, let's put Trail in a bad position. Let's put him here. Clear look there. Now he dribbles this way. Which way are you going to go now? Or now you're going to get over here? No bueno, right? Now you got to come back here. So now he takes one dribble here and he pulls up and we got to close down and you're right here. You're stuck, right? But if you're here, you control the angle. And that's the difference between refereeing outside in, this is outside in, versus inside out. You don't want to be inside out. We'll talk about that in the league too. Because on the outside in, you can control your angle. 3 takes a dribble to the left, you still got a good look at him, right? Trail take dribble. 3 takes a dribble to the right, you still have a good look at him. You have complete control over the angle. Place yourself here. You have control over the angle. You have a good look at a snapshot here, but you don't have control as the movement goes this way. You don't have control. All right, so let's keep going. All right, freeze it. So this is what happens. We have to stay active. So go back a little bit, Clarence. Go back to the ball. Go back. Just go back to the ball at the top. So now the ball's at the top. Where should the lead be? Where should the lead be? Where should the lead be? Yeah.
Right now,
Ball's in the middle.
there's no action play, or there's no action play in this area,
Uh-huh.
so he should probably be closer to middle of the lane.
The middle of the lane. Okay, we never stop in the middle of the lane.
Not
You
in the
don't
middle of
mean
the
here.
lane, but like on
You mean half the distance from here and there?
yeah, probably.
Because you
closer to
always
that.
want to, and you got to make your changes because you got to close down here on the ball's in the middle, you want to close down to here. Now when the ball passes, pass the ball clearance, freeze it, let it in the zone, and there's going to be a lot of rotating. Now you close down to here, play it, and now freeze it. Now you're closer to going there. Find yourself out here, you realize that you never move because you know damn well I can't get up over there before it happens, right? So you got to get to your preliminary positions. At the lead, ball's on your side, you mirror the ball, right? Ball comes to the middle, you close down to the 3-foot post up line. They don't have it, just a foot or two under. I don't know the verbiage for that. And then NFHS, because I don't know if there's a 3-foot.
There's no 3-foot post up.
There's no 3-foot post up mark, but you say you can just close down half the distance from here, right? And then once the ball goes opposite, you close down to the lane line, because now you're waking 1001, 1002, and then now you're rotating. This is a good example of what happens, and this happens a lot with my colleagues, happens a lot with us. We don't make our preliminary adjustments, then from here you go, ain't no way I'm getting there. You just stay there. And then we don't put us in a position. We always want to be in a position where with the strong side, which is the side the ball's on, we have 2 officials on that side, whenever we can. Okay? Put him there, who's the better referee that plays? The guy standing on the star, or the guy behind it there? The guy on the star, right? I don't know if we've gotten there, but that's just a little example I picked up on. We got to make our preliminary adjustments. So keep it playing. Let's go. All right, so let's go back to this one. This is a good conversation to have. Talk about where I'm going, back, clearance to the ball. Go back when there was a rebound and a kick out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a kick out. Yeah, he got the rebound. All right, freeze it right now. Let it play until it gets clear. All right, freeze it now. So right now we got to already be prepared for what's going to happen next. So, sitter, refereeing the defender. Not looking at the ball, refereeing the defender, so they should be focused on him, wherever the closeout's going to be, right? Where do we want the trail to be? Back here, right? Not down here. Although 2 slots, there's never a problem with 2 slots, we're not in rotation. We don't have a problem with 2 slots, is as the lead goes across, the trail goes down to center right here. For momentarily, we'll have 2 centers. But he's in the trail now, he should not be down here. Many times we put ourselves in the wrong position. Why do we go to the wrong position? You have to guess why.
Ball watching.
Bam! Say that again loud.
Ball watching.
Ball watching. You can see the ball better from over here. But that's not where you're supposed to be. That's excellent. Because when we get to a place, you find yourself sometimes, you'll be in the trail and you'll just stay there because you can see the ball so good. It's just so good to you, but that's not where you're supposed to be. Somebody else got on it, right? Because if you're not, who's watching? So we're there. So now we got to start thinking about trail should be here. Center's on this position here. Now we got to be thinking about who's our man, who's our guy. The lead should be thinking, who's the lead refereeing right now? Should be referee defender. Find a defender. This one right here, right? Okay. Who should trail be refereeing? Or you're looking to see? 10 could be in here, right? Either one of those, depending on who moves first. The one that moves first is usually the help defender, the one that you're going to go to. So if I was a trail, if I was at the lead, I'd be focused on him because I got a potential baseline drive here. And it's a competitive matchup. So trail, knowing that he's there, trail's going to referee these 3 players. And what we're going to do is, at the trail here, the key is going to be, what's going to key is the first one of them to move is the one we're going to take. So if you're confused about that, you just keep all 3 in your view, and then play it once, and then get ready to pause it. Pause it. So now who should the trail have gone to? 0. To 0. Does he move first? It's going to be that's where the play's going to probably come, right? And leads here, close down, coming across. There, got that one. It's just a skosh back. No, send. The lead, just perfect, but more perfect turn. Right there. Referee and him, seeing this box out here, seeing this close out here, seeing this play right here, just to help defender. Help defender doesn't move either. So now let's go back one more time. Let's go back over it again. Let's go back over it again. So, same thing with who moves first. All right, go back, keep going forward. Forward, back, forward. All right, pause it. All right, so lead. Referee in here, right? But once the drive comes, he doesn't move, does he? Who's the next one that moves? He moves. So lead's got to help with this one too, realizing that this is where the play is going to be. Trail should also be refereeing this person right here. The center is going to be refereeing 24. He's coming from behind. He bails on the play. So he too is going to be paying some attention to this. So now, who, based on where we are now, and knowing that it is in the wrong position, who got to look at this person the longest? Trail. Got to see him the longest, right? Whoever sees him the longest is going to make the best decision. You get a better perspective. Because this play is not difficult if we all watch zero. So just go back just a quick clearance and everybody watch zero. So we don't have to make that decision. Everybody watch zero. Now push play. Everybody watch, and then once we have the play in the basket, freeze it. Keep going. Now freeze it. So what is that? What if you could do that all over again, what would you call on that play? What would you call it? Play it again. Play it again, okay? Man, if we could do that again, just do it one more time. All right, go back in real speed. Go back in real speed. Now put it in real speed. We're watching zero. Go fast. All right. So what do we got? Straight up? What do you got? Okay. Then toes. What do you got? What do you got? Foul?
Yeah.
No foul? Foul? No foul.
No, I got to go.
No foul. Okay. Now go back again.
That's what we're down.
Okay. All right. So good play when you watch your tape. A good place to look is, I tell you when to freeze it. Freeze it now. One more step. Let his right foot step down. Freeze it now. Okay. Stop. Now. That's where he was. That legal guard position. Not really. A little bit outside his base. Keep going. Where's the contact happening? Keep going. Keep going. Freeze it. Where's he end up? Is that vertical? Jumping from here, ending there. Is that vertical? That's a foul. Okay? And that's how you can review it when you watch it on tape after. You see, it's a principle of verticality. Now, if he jumped this way, if he planted this way and ended up back here, he'd be an offensive foul because he got knocked that way. But if he jumps, if his momentum is going this way, you see him plant from here and you see him land here, more than likely a defensive foul. But it's not vertical. It's vertical. He jump here, land there. He jumped here, he land there. That's a foul.
So, Mark,
Yes.
explain how that becomes a foul because of the defender. They think of verticality straight up.
Well, his hands are straight up.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But the body is turning the player's body to another direction.
Well, we think we don't see the offensive player, but that's not a vertical guarding position. That's jumping from here and moving there. It's not vertical either. That's different than jump. If you jump straight up and you turn towards him, that's a foul. Now, jumping straight up and doing that, maybe not, because you're going away from it. If the contact's coming this way, you jump straight up. If you do that, that's a foul. You jump straight up and you're a little cheeky about taking all of it, and you do that, maybe not. But that, jumping here, straight up, landing here, not vertical. That's a foul. Now, let's go back. Can we have sound? Yeah, let's go back to that same play.
And just so you guys know, we call that jumping from A to B.
A to B.
A to B.
A to B. So now go back and turn the volume up so we can hear the sound.
Now baseline drive, and that's going to be a foul.
Let's be critical to the lead. We got it right, but let's get it more right. We said primary area responsibility, right? Primary is here. We got to help defender that we saw late. We said this is primary. You just wait one more tick before you blow your whistle. Because what you want to avoid is having two whistles and two different decisions. So go back again, play it in real time, and then turn the sound down. Now push play.
No sound.
No sound. This one you want the lead to have the foul.
beep.
All afterwards. Now we've got a chance to see it longer. You see it, jump. You got the help defender. Primary, you realize what it tells anybody observing you is that you recognize what your primary is and what your secondary is. That is a foul. That is a good decision from the league. I would just one more click before you do it. Tracy.
You explain who should not have a foul, who should not have a whistle.
Well, I believe that we would have trouble in this play if we didn't have a whistle at all.
Right.
But these are the people who have the best looks. Trell has a really good look. Lee has a really good look, but no one recognizes that it's not his primary defense. You have a secondary cadence whistle, meaning that you freeze it real quick, Clarence. So this is a primary whistle. It'd be beep, beep, beep. That's in your primary. Beep, beep, beep. Secondary cadences. Beep, beep, beep. Because you're recognizing that you realize this is not my primary. However, this is blatant, obvious. Foul. And now, ooh, foul. What we don't want to have is have this play in your secondary and you call your whistle. And you go, so if you foul me every time, you got your whistle with you? You put your whistle. All right. Every time I foul, you blow your whistle. Okay? Primary. This is your primary. Keep his air down. That's what happens when you're in your secondary. When you're in primary, you keep your air down, you catch it, it didn't happen. So that whistle now, this is your prime, this is your secondary. And this is a foul that happened. And you're blatant and it's obvious and you're certain that it's a foul. This is what should your cadence be on this. See the difference? And then that's somebody observing you can recognize that that is a foul. It was a secondary cadence whistle. This official knows what they're doing, has an idea of what we're trying to accomplish. So that would be, and then look, and this is a whole big slot, definitely not. And if I'm at the center right there on that play, unless I'm 100% certain, I'm not blowing my whistle on that play. It's okay. It's okay. There's gonna be some misplays, but if you're not certain, then I wouldn't blow my whistle. And that one should be real cadence if that happens. And this has been 12, 15 minutes, and we watched 3 seconds of a play. We watched 3 seconds of a play. And there's so many things that go into the decisions that we make. And that's when we watch tape. It's not just about watching if it's right or it's wrong. It's digging deep in it to see how can we do it better. What would be the next best decision we can make? How can we make that decision? So this is just one little play, okay? So we got one play that we had called correctly, and inside that play being called correctly, we found 7, 8, 9 things we'd like to do better. Okay. Yes, sir.
Can you explain why he should have waited just a little longer for the whistles? Because he's waiting to hear from other officials?
Correct. Because it's not his primary, right? And he's not certain if Trail has it. Because the best case scenario, or another scenario would be, Trail is watching 0, and he comes up with a primary whistle, and then he doesn't have a whistle at all. That would work too. But that whistle would be different. That whistle could, even if there was confusion, and he didn't call us in, it's not my guy. When he blows it, it can be a secondary official. So that could happen either way.
So our issue in high school basketball compared to NBA or college basketball, the trail do not want to referee across the backboard. So the trail is here, but he doesn't want to referee across the backboard. In his mind, like Mark is telling us, look at the first guy that made the move is from the trail's position where he was watching. So he still should referee this guy in this play with him. But because the driver is coming from across the backboard on the side of the court of the trail, that's why the trail don't want to referee the play.
All right. Let's talk about that.
That's the C up on the top of the screen.
See on the top of the
See on
screen.
the top, I'm talking about the trail right
Trail here on the bottom of the screen.
Mark is saying the trail should have the first whistle before my whistle. In high school basketball, we don't want to look across the lane, across the backboard. So this is the backboard, we're going center across, straight across. We don't want to referee that play. But this player, the player he was watching 0, is the main guy that he had concentration on and made the first move to that offensive player on that play.
I think one thing that, sorry,
Why would the C not call it off? That's coming from his primary.
it is coming from his primary, but go back. He's got this defender. First of the closeout. He's got this defender. He's going. So he's got. Keep going. No, play it forward. I'm sorry. Forward. There. Play to the basket. Stop it. Because now he should transfer from this now to this. Right? But so that's new. Right? That's new. Let's go back. Go back. So he's on him there. Freeze it. Who's on him now? He is, right? So he's been watching him long. Keep going. Freeze it. Now, lead. It's here, sees him move. He's on him right now. Let's see. Still here, right? Now go. Stop it. Now C comes to this. He's looked at it the shortest amount of time. Now, this is a foul. And if the whistle doesn't come from here and here, you would be more than right to, after what you saw, to watch that A to B jump, to call a foul there. We just know you didn't see it as long. And one of the things we can talk about, if I can hear that, they'll correct me if anything relative to what it is, who said it, or what the rule is in any individual sport, but they all run the same stuff now. And if the floor gets more spread out, we have to go to not proximity. Primary is not proximity. Proximity is not always primary. This has the open look to see this defender. And so that's a play. They don't want you referee across the paint, foul up here. Definitely from the league, you don't want to call that. Let's say that was he jumped straight up, and it's a play at the rim, above the rim, and he hits him on his arm. Lead, no good. Can't see do that. Leave it alone. C's on his side, trail. You got to get on that side to get it. If it happens, it's like the lead and I know there's conversation about the leads. Primary just goes to there, and then the lead, jump shot right here, we're strong side. That's not his primary. But if he jumps and fouls him and cracks him, he needs to have some perspective.
And just as a point of reference, we talk about don't call across the paint. That's he's explaining the reason why he had to call across the paint because he had a secondary, right? Right. Secondary defender.
See, in college, they say give the lead first crack at it and all plays in the paint. That's not necessarily correct because of this type of play right here.
And we're going to talk about all these plays at the back. We're going to talk about, and the biggest thing we're going to talk about is who's your guy, who's your defender. Because when you get paint and you get multiple defenders here, I don't know about lead first crack. If somebody's helping from the top side coming down, everybody, we're going to define any play we look at. We're going to break it down. We're going to say who's responsible for that defender. Because whoever responsible for that defender should have that whistle. And that's why we don't want to have a lot of double whistles because we should be recognizing who's responsible for what. So just as much as understanding the mechanics while you're learning to officiate is knowing what you're supposed to look at, which is principally important. What's my job? What am I supposed to be looking at? It's important to really understand the mechanics because it lets you know not only what you can see, but what your partners can see. And then you can make a decision whether you're going to participate in the play or does somebody have a better look. Does that make sense? So it's not just knowing where you're supposed to look, it's knowing where your partners are supposed to look. Because as an angle becomes close to you, you know at the lead, you know how that angle looks at the other side, and you can trust your partner to make that same decision. The fundamentals of officiating are really simple. This is what you should be saying to yourself at all times. Referee to defender. In my primary, I'm going to call the obvious plays, and I'm going to trust my partners. So referee to defender, stay in your primary, call only the obvious plays, trust your partners. Another thing is, be trustworthy. What you're responsible for, make sure that you can make those decisions there as well. So you're at a place and you see it, and you see a guy fall out of the air, bam, fall right on his back, and somebody's in front of you, and you just see bam, and you know you didn't see it, but you understand the mechanics. You know they saw it, you know she saw it, and you have to trust them to have that decision, to make the decision. And if they saw it and she saw it, then she needs to make that decision about what the foul is, and then who did it. And then you have to trust them, and that's where our system works. And the more trust there is, more we are trustworthy, the better the system works. Because nobody, forgive me, how much experience you have, you cannot see through people. You got no X-ray vision. You can't see through people. You get angles, open angles that allow us to make easier decisions. And the tougher decisions, if we don't see them, we don't call them. And I guarantee you, the sun will come up tomorrow, whether they got fouled or not. But you call a play that's not in your primary, that you didn't see, and it's not a foul, you get a big old frowny face next to your name. You call a play that you guess on out of your primary and you get it right, you don't even get a smiley face. So what's the point? You don't get a little smiley face next to you. Oh yeah, no. You get a big old frowny face if you're wrong. So measure that up against them. So that was one low play. All right, keep it going. Go to like 550 and let's play. 550. One more time.
Yeah, every hand.
There you go, that's cool. It's not going to be so 5. 2, okay. So freeze it. So like I said, so move the trail where we want it. Put the trail where it's the green button is what turns the light. Move him where we want him to be. He's the trail. There we go. There we go. Back here. We like to move him to the C though. Let's get him all the way to the C. Because now at the C, keep that dot there. At the C from here, I can see or have some recognition of all 10 players, can I? I mean, I can look through them. I can see I got big eyes, closed eyes. I can see off the top of my eyes. I can see all the banners here. I can see what happens. And then if I'm there, I can only see one snapshot. I can see that defender. You want to see the greater in excess of 2 people, 2 players, you can see the better official you'll be. Because you get a chance to read what's coming next. So we want him here. There's not a lot of action going on, but he should already be thinking about if the ball goes to middle, where everybody's going to go next. If it goes to middle, he turns and throws it opposite. But I got 5 people right in front of me, and I'm going to do that. It'll be a dump down in there. So just to kind of recognize that. So that we keep going. Freezing. See, we're just watching the ball. Moving around aimlessly. Nobody wrote that down. Nobody at top notch. Nobody in MOA. Nobody nowhere ever said the trail should be the free throw line extended on the strong side, moving from here to there. This is just no good. So whoever this is, they should recognize that and realize it's just a boo-boo and they got to just correct it. Let's get them right here. All right? So just play it. Okay. Keep going. What happened to 5-4-2? Oh, go back one play. Just one play. Go back to when it comes in. Keep playing. Keep playing. We already discussed this, but we'll see if anybody were paying attention. So, all right. After this basket, okay, freeze it. Okay, they keep going. Keep going. Freeze it. Stop. Where should he be standing right now?
He should be on the
Out of bounds. He should be out of bounds. And he should not leave out of bounds until when? The ball comes in 4 to 6 strides to the right to the rear of the ball, right? This would be to left of the ball, right? It happens, but that's not good. Because you keep getting in the habit of doing that, one of these times he's going to rush up, grab it, you're going to be standing here, you're not going to know what happened there. You're there, you have complete control. Okay? All right, so that was that. That's the cue. All right, the things are right here. Once again, he's in front of the ball. He picks it up, takes 2-3 steps, dribbles again. Everybody screams, you don't know what happened. You're a little bit behind. Just speed, just a little bit. I mean, right here, no defense, understand, but just a little bit. If it's defense, you got to be in a position where you can referee defense. You never want to be in front of them. Keep going. And this stop. And this is why you know that this official's not concentrating, because it's one thing to get caught in a bad spot. But if you get here and you find yourself in front of it, what should you do? Huh? How about just don't move it off? Let them go right past you. Right there. We're saving steps. And you're supposed to be behind the guy, and the ball's here, and you're here, and you're, catch yourself, and he's dribbling, you stand right there. Now look, you're right in the perfect position. You know, just little things. If you're saving steps. Yeah. Keep playing. Good. Good. Pause. It's a good position adjustment there. I mean, okay, freeze. I want the center to take one little step down here in case he pulls. He's left-handed too, particularly in this kid. I think I watched this kid's left-handed. But you got to be down there because he might pull up. Okay, so you want to be standing right there. Go back a click too. Just go back a click. Go back until where the ball was here. So one thing you catch yourself on is go back a little bit more. So if we freeze right now, with nothing else going on, where do we want the center official to be? So the reason why you do that, you always try to get here to begin is just orientate yourself into a better position. Here you can get here just as easily, but if you're here, you got one step here, one step there. Here, you got two steps here, no steps there. You don't put yourself in a good position to start. So you always want to check yourself when you watch a video. Am I where I'm supposed to start from? Whether anything happens or not, just want to make sure I'm always doing it. All right, push button. Primary and slide. Boom. So one little baby step right there. And you're just under that. Little baby step. And you're right there on that. To stay inside out. To have control over that angle. Okay? Particularly with a left hander because it's more like you're going to go that way. The rotation. 230. That's cool, just like that. Okay, freeze. Go back. Alright, so somebody put the trail, where should the trail be? Right? Because even while he's there, the green light, while he's here, there's not much going on. Look, this is not really a competitive matchup yet, right? You got to have some perspective on this dribbler. You got to be prepared for that. You recognize right away, because see, when you're here looking at him, guess who you can't see? You can't see all this right here, right? But guess who else you can't see? The most important person you should be able to recognize is this person. You can't see them. Because, let's say, for example, I'm trying to orientate myself. Okay, you're the trail, and I'm in the seat. And the ball comes over to this side. And you're in the trail. Let me do it differently.
This is something that's the basket.
Get my mind. Okay, I'm in the trail. The basket of clearances. You're in the center on that position, on that spot. Okay? And now the ball comes right in front of you, up here, and you do what? You raise your head to go that, and as soon as you do that, I do that. So go back here, ball's here, I'm on this, and then you check your head, and I go off. I have to be able to see that. And so now, what we have is, we already established, we all agree, non-competitive matchup. How many eyes we got on this? Nothing happening right now. 4. We only got 6 of us out, 6 eyes out there. And we got 10 players. We got 4 of them totally focused on absolute nothing but floor. Nothing happening here. We got 4 eyes all over this, and we got all this here, and 2 eyes. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good math for referees. We want 1 person on that, and then we have 4 eyes on that. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yes, sir.
So right now, the trail should probably be, his eyes should be either on 3 or 24, correct?
The trail's eyes, go back, Clarence. I'm going to tell you where his eyes should be. Okay, go back. Go back. Go back. Will we go backwards?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go back. Just go back fast. Go back. Okay, freeze. All right, the trail, right here on the sideline. Where's the lead? Where should the lead be? The lead is back here. Back here. Keep with the ball, or at least here. And then when the lead, where does the trail referee? The trail referee is generally what? Where the lead does not. So at the lead, you can never be wrong, whichever one of these matchups you pick. Because the trail has to have your eyes in their vision. So they see when he picks up ball, you go off. He picks up off ball, you go on. So, trail right here is refereeing here because I'm assuming the lead is refereeing here. Fine. Doesn't matter one way or the other. Okay? But generally, if you're going to stand in below, we want the lead on the ball. But either way, so keep playing.
High school is different.
What? Stop, freeze. What's high school?
High school, the lead takes the position on the post. It's like,
So the ball's here, they'll take the corner.
Can't take the
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's keep moving. Okay.
That's very nice.
All right. Okay. Got it. So freeze it. Freeze it out. So trail. We wanted them here. Got to do this because the lead's fooling with the bench. So the trail should be over here and have some perspective on what happens here. All right. Keep going. Back here on ball. Now sees that. Boom. His eyes should be down right in here. Freeze. Because this is important. So now we have a competitive matchup. We got 4 players in the action area here. We want trail here. But trail has to referee. Lead is refereeing this defender. Trail has to referee this screen. Have to referee to have some perspective on the screen, but also have some perspective on the cutter and what happens here. If he grabs him, cut to the basket, holds him around his waist, that's the trail's decision. If this is the screen, if he sets a screen here, comes over the top, and this defender fouls him, that's his decision. He steps out to hedge the screen, or they blitz it, and they double team him there, we gotta have eyes on that as well. So that's a competitive matchup, because now our lead official can easily referee these 3 defenders, because not really much going on. Where it's going on is right here. First play. Nothing there. Nope. Got him. Okay. I think they're going to show replay this play. No, is this the one? I think they did. I don't know if they did. But we want to get in front of that. So now go back again. Like we said, we can always go back to any mistake or any decision and see how we could have made a better decision earlier. So go back. All right, freeze. Now, generally speaking, 6-year-olds aren't as fast as 15-year-olds. So let's play that to our advantage. Let's keep them here. All right, keep going. All right, that goes there, one there, down there. He's there. Watch that boom. Now look how much head start I got to get there. Just to get there, if you do. All right, does that make sense? Keep going. Okay, go to 30 seconds of the game. Quiet eyes versus jumpy eyes.
30 in the quarter.
30 seconds of the quarter. Then we'll go up. We're in the second quarter, right?
Yeah, second.
All right. $29.3 something happened. Go back. What happened?
29.3.
Yeah. It must have been the play.
On the play.
Yeah, the actual play, not the. Okay. Yep. All right. So get ready to pause it now. So these are important. So let's decide who's got who. Trail. All right, keep coming, keep going. Freeze it. All right, freeze it right down. Trail, who can help on this dig right here? Who's on ball? First of all, who's on ball?
3.
But who is refereeing that defender? Trail, right? Lead maybe could. Trail has to referee both of those. Difficult position for the lead to come up the lane and call this if there's anything. But right now, who's the lead referee? One of these two, right? And which one, if he has to pick one, which one's he gonna pick? Which one?
The outside defender.
No. If he got his eye on both of them, when this play comes to the basket, which one is he going to pick? What's our key for who we pick? Who moves first? Okay, so that's who he's on. Slot, referee 3, looking for this dig. Same thing. He's looking to see who helps. So keep playing. Freeze it. All right. Lead, dribble pass, got to help here. Everybody's got to get somebody in here, right? A lot of mess right in here. We like for the trail to be outside in. We can see the bigger picture of all this. This inside out is tough from the inside. Let's come across. Keep playing. Nothing. Freeze it. Nothing, right? We all got to find somebody. Somebody's got to be in the trail going down where we can see you. As long as your eyes are, this is your guy here. Maybe that. Lead is these two. Slot here. Anything high on this elbow, maybe. Get that. Keep playing. Freeze it. Lead here, right? Slot, center here. Trail. Lead not above here. Up here is all trail. If anything happens way up here, because he can't see it. All right, keep playing. Go back. We say whoever sees it first. Okay, keep going forward. All right, so got it inside his arm. All right, so now go back and play this whole play. Everybody pay attention to this play. Everybody be the lead official. All right, pay attention. Go back. Pay attention to this play. Be the lead official. Keep going. All right, freeze. No. Come up and report this foul.
Whistle.
Whistle's been blown. Now you're
Reporting at the table.
This is the table.
Turn the
Report what the play is.
Red, 0, hit, 2 shots.
Okay, do it again.
Red, 0, hit, 2 shots.
Okay, now go back on. Let's watch it one more time.
Oh, shoot. I missed
Yeah,
that.
here we go. Come on, play it. Right. Got it, right? So, freeze it. So, before he leaves, who's ever have to leave, just remember when you're doing your signals, you don't have to rush. So, this is something the instructor told me once. Pay attention to this. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Okay? Slow yourself down. When you get in that position where you have the foul, you feel like everybody's watching. Guess what? Everybody's watching. So, slow, smooth, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So before you leave, it's like the action, everybody watching you, then once the foul happens, it's like now it's down, now the lights are on you. You just take your time before you leave that spot, tell yourself once more who fouled him and who the shooter is. So you call that foul to yourself, say, 1 fouled him, 21's a shooter. 1 fouled him, 21's a shooter. One more time to yourself. 1 fouled him, 21's a shooter. Now you jog to your spot. And then what you want to do is you want your whole signal, you want people to follow the same hand. All right? So 1, hit, 2 shots. So you follow the same hand. So you don't want to 1, hit, 2 shots. The same hand. Which are you looking? 1, hit, 2 shots. So they can watch that same hand the whole time. Okay? And you should be able to do them both. So 1 hits, 2 shots. Get yourself together. Just learn to have a referee. What the hell do I run for? Think about it. Take a moment. I go to trail. No, I go to the opposite. And now you can take off and run there. And that seemed like a lot of going through your head. You'd be anxious about it. That wasn't that long, was it? and that was just somebody who called the foul, wasn't sure what they were going to do, had the foul beat, one foul, 21 for the shoot. All right, one foul, 21 for the shoot. Okay, boom, now take off. One, hit, two shots. Where do I go next? Shit. I go to the center. Where is that? Okay, he's there and she's there. I'm going over there. Boom, not over there. It seems like a long time, right? You've been nervous and thinking, all hell's breaking loose. It's not. Just take your time, because they're off. Just keep going during all that time. They're figuring all this out. All this is working itself out. You have all the time in the world to figure that out. And guess what? It's not going to start, and he's not going to start until you finish. No rush. Okay? Let's keep going.
Skip the free throw.
Just hit the free throw. All right, move up. Baseline, right? Okay. Keep going.
Go back, please, Mark.
Go back.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah,
You know what I'm
Mark. Exactly.
So
I say
in
that's
high school, you have to have a 10-second count.
That's exactly.
But is he waiting? Too late?
Yeah.
Go back.
You started till he got to the like
So go
top
back.
at the top at the eye. And you
It's not
are
a count right
So go back and play it in real time. Go back to before you inbound it. All right? Yep.
what Brian was talking
Stop.
about yesterday.
So 9 chops.
So
Okay,
right
keep
here.
going.
Right
Hold
here.
on a second. Just let it play. Just play. Freezing. So now he should be at 4 or 5. And now we just started to count. You don't go, there's no 24-second clock. You don't go, even though it's 29.3. We know it's only been 4.7. We don't use that. All right? So we got, now you're starting your count. Let's say the ball gets kicked back into the back. Okay? Let's kick it back in the back. It's 29.3 and the ball turns around. And now you're at 4. But when the coach watches it and they see 18.2, what's 29 minus 18? 11. Don't get 11 seconds to bring it across. Then they're going to want to know why. So it's down to your habits every single time. You chop in 1001. 2. You do it every time. Even when there is nobody there. Because what happens if you're dribbling and the kid's not paying attention, coach calls him something, he dribbles off his leg. Now you got to run all the way back to the kid. Now somebody sees it. Now they come running up and now they put the pressure on them. And now you're like, oh shit. And you go 5, 6. Now they look at it and it's only 2 seconds. So you can't win either way. You try to guesstimate. So I suspect that whenever they go to high school, they use the clock, but if they don't have it now, you have to use that
2 years.
every single time.
What else did he not count? Count.
So now what happens with that? He's inbound the ball. Every time he doesn't do it, now all of a sudden, this happens. And then nobody paid attention to the coach. 4 players all run down there, and now no one's there. He sprints out. Keep going. They all sprint, and nobody comes back. Stop. 3's not paying attention. He don't pay attention to the play. 3 thought 0 was, 0 thought 3 was. Neither one of them did it. He runs all the way down here. Now he turns around and sees it. He comes up and put pressure on him. And here you go 1. We should be at 3. So it's your habits. Your habits, your habits, your habits. What you do in times that are stressful will be exactly what you do in times of stress. So I watch these tapes. I watch my tapes all the time. I watch my tapes closer when I'm at games. There's always a game that will stress you out. It's always a level of that. That's just what experience is. It stresses you out less, but it always will stress you out. So this is a great example for these 3 officials who are working this game, because this is a big game on TV, a big thing. They have a lot of experience, but this is what will show what are your habits. You will do what you've been doing. You are who you are.
Exactly.
If you have been doing it in the preseason, you're going to do it in the finals. You're going to do it there, and it's going to catch you. And then it only takes one time for a bad habit to catch you. And then the worst thing about a bad habit It'll keep you up all night sleeping, still staring at the ceiling because you know better. And you didn't do it. That's just hard to live with. You know better. Something happens you've never seen before. Come on, man, take a shot at it. You'll know better the next time. But something that you know you're supposed to repetitively do every single time, and you take your time off and you don't do it. Like, for example, I tell my guys this all the time. When you get in the playoffs, any Google, any decision is going to be on ESPN. That ain't no big deal. You want to get on CNN? Your referee don't want to be on CNN. They don't talk about sports.
That's worldwide.
That's worldwide news. CNN, you know what mistakes come with CNN? Say it was number 1 when it was 0. And 1 foul out. And 0 foul. Explain that. You know? Ball go out of bounds, step out of bounds, they grab it, they don't take it out, they throw it in, you don't count, they check up, something happens, mistakes like that. Saying something happened that didn't happen, not taking your time and reporting the right foul. The real basics, color and direction. That gets you on CNN. The stuff, you make a mistake, the stuff you learn this weekend, you make that mistake 25, 30 years from now, that will get you. Not cross the angle, not secondary cadence. That'll get you in trouble on ESPN. Get you in trouble with your boss. But you want to really get in some trouble? Do something like not count 5 seconds, not count 10 seconds, not remember who fouled who, call the wrong person. You see what I'm saying? The basics, the ones that people don't know anything about referee going, how in the hell did they miss that?
Then you end up on Shaq and the food.
Yeah, you don't want to be on that. So that was just one of the plays too. And there were some other ones, but I'm here to answer the questions. But look, we spent an hour and we looked at 3 plays. We talked about 25, 30 things. It doesn't take much. Even when you first start, if you could have somebody to just come, your friend, and just videotape with your phone. Everybody's a cameraman. Just 5 minutes. Maybe just 5 minutes of your signals. Maybe you have somebody at the game, just say, hey, you can sit here, they're going to have a foul. You can remember, you can just videotape it. You can take one little picture of yourself, one little small piece of video, and you can really work with that and figure out what you're supposed to do. Does that make sense?
Since we're going down to the buzzer, can you kind of explain what officials should be thinking and looking at as we get down to 0 on the clock?
Absolutely.
Last second shot.
Yeah.
So I'll let it run. Just kind of talk.
Okay. Let's just play it out. Because you always got to be talking to yourself. So, freeze real quick. Did anybody play baseball ever? Nobody play baseball? Okay. Play baseball. You like remember? Did the coach ever tell you when you're in the field, you're like, okay, it's hit to me. Man on first and second. Bases loaded. Nobody out. And you're the pitcher. Ball hit to you. Right back to you. What you supposed to do? Throw it to home plate. So you think about that in advance. Damn, they hit it to me. What do I do? You got a decent coach to tell you, hey man, if they hit it to you, do this. Right? So you at least have a plan in place. So we'll talk about this. I don't remember this last 26 seconds, but I'm going to tell you what I think about when I think about a plan in place. I'm thinking right now, 4 points, it was a lot more. They cut it to 4. They're trying to cut it down now. I got 26.5 seconds, 4 seconds. I'm not in. Are we in the penalty? We're in the bonus?
Yeah, show.
Doesn't show, but I don't think so. I don't think they made it either. I watched up to the third quarter. I don't think anybody made it in the bonus. So I'm not in the bonus. That's important. It's important because it goes to the level of certainty I have to have. Because the level of certainty, when you put people on the free throw line, you have to be certain. Okay? So just think about just those things before we begin. All right? And we'll get to 2 or 3 other things. Okay? All right? All right. Easy this game because now, go back a little bit. One other thing we should have been thinking about if we're thinking about the whole game, we get down to this point, we have to know who's next possession. Because next possession matters. It may not be a big deal here, but you can't be cavalier with it because whoever gets it this time, who gets it at the beginning of the half? The other team. So you don't call any nonsense on something that's not. It is. And when you do, for part of your presentation, you want to know already whose ball. Who is it? I just picked it up now. Whose ball is next?
White.
Whose ball? White ball next. So you want to know that. So if you do have a jump ball, you go, jump, white! That's it. Don't know a lot of conversation around that. That's pretty clear. This conference coming together, all kind of data in advance.
Since you guys are new, that's why you got your possession of
Yeah.
the table. So they'll flip it, let you know which direction the ball is.
But that half paying attention, I picked up on that, not knowing if I lost my composure, I would go, jump ball, here! I'm a little confused about which team is going which way. But you don't know that. It said this way. Watch White come get it now. They know which way they go. I mean, so there's all kind of things. Just take your time. Use the information you have. Be clear with the information you have. The rest of it will work itself out. So we have this, jump ball. So I'm thinking about that, and it's 4 points. Going into halftime. I'm also thinking about this right now, although in this game, freezing, we got jump. I'm also thinking about it relative to, do we have fouls? Who has fouls? Where are we? You only get to play 5. You only get 5 fouls. You don't want to call any nonsense with someone that you're not sure about, not certain about. You don't want to have a foul here on a play that you guess on. And now you look up and you don't remember who it was. And now you call it on 2. The only reason why I say 2 is because I saw in the opening thing that he's going to UIC, he's their best player. So I never saw them play before, I know that. And you call a foul on 2 and you report it, and now you hear the announcer say, oh, that's Carlos. Carlos something? Yeah, Carlos. Carlos, 4th foul. Then you go, you didn't know it was his 4th foul when you blew it. Because every good judge, any decision, always knows the consequence of a decision before they make it. You want to know the consequence of your decision before you make it. Now, if Carlos shoves somebody and you report the foul and it's his 4th foul, you got to go sit down there. It ain't got nothing to do with you. But you see bodies all fall on the floor and you just guess 2, and now you report and now you hear 4. Oops.
See it again.
Because you didn't know. You have to know in advance what it is. I'm not saying you don't call a foul on him. Can you illegally contact somebody? That's a foul. But when you do it, you're I'm stupid to him in your head. That's his 4th foul. Yeah. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's another thing I'll be thinking about. Jump ball, we got White's ball. So now, there's a lot to be thinking about. They got a sub coming in. Freezing. 2 subs coming in. More than likely, if we freeze it right here, 2 subs coming in. So now I know I got to do what? I got to count as an official. I got to make sure that we end up with 5 and 5, right? So we got 2 out, 2 come in. We got to make sure 2 went out. I'm going to take my time and make sure there are 5 whites. Now, what would you got to start thinking about basketball? The 2 people that came in, what do you think they're good at?
Shooting.
Right? So they're coming in to shoot. So now you got to be thinking, okay, 2 more shooters coming in. Just put that in your pocket for a second. So what is Mike thinking about down there? Guess what? If he brings 2 people in, what are they? Defenders. Right? So just be thinking about that. Okay? Ball comes in. All right, freeze it right now. So in our game, this is going a little bit more into it, but just something. We do this every 24 seconds. We do this. We have a setting. 9 to 5, nothing cheap off the ball. 5 and down, nothing cheap at all. 9 to 5, nothing cheap off the ball. 5 and down, nothing cheap at all. Because the reason why is, in every 24 seconds in our game, when everybody gets down to 14, if they play defense for 17 seconds and you call some nonsense, even if they're not in the penalty, they take it out of bounds. What does the shot clock go to? I go to 14. They get some extra time. Coaches can barely get people to play defense for 24 seconds. They sure can't get them to play 32 seconds. So that's just an irritant you're adding to your game. So 9 to 5, nothing cheap off the ball. You got to have a high level of certainty. If it happens, you call it certainty. Time and score matters because it has an effect on what your level of certainty has to be. It does not mean that with 7:30 on the clock, you don't call a foul because it's early in the game. but you don't have to be as certain at 7:30 of the first in a tie game, which is 0-0, as you have to be certain on a play 42 seconds left in a tie game 55-55. So that does not mean that this play is illegal contact not called and this play is not called. It just means you must be certain that it's a foul. You must be certain that it's a travel. You have a high level of certainty. And if you're not certain, you do not call it. If you're not sure, you do not guess at that point in the game. They're all the same, but they're not. Rarely do they ever call and complain when you have a technical foul for a hand check at 7:30 in the first. Does that make sense? So that'd be something I would think about. That's it for that. I had some other ones too, but any questions? Or maybe those other plays will take us to that. Any questions? What? Pleasure.
Thank
You
you.
guys enjoy it.
So, hold on a second. We had a situation where he was talking about college kids going to USC. He was talking earlier about there were two players and the official was standing this way. Those were the best two players for both teams. We had to monitor and know their situation. I told you guys I had Okafor and Jabari. So now we know that those are the best players for those teams. We want to keep those players in the game. We do not want to have them in situations where they are on the bench. Because they didn't come to watch us. You can't watch those players. That's how the seats got full. Okay, so keep all of that in mind. Any questions about it? Any questions? Talking about it.
I know obviously for like NBA, like it's expected for referees to study like the teams, but like is it like mandatory for high school referees?
How far do you want to go?
Depends on that.
Pardon me?
Depends on that.
That's my question to you. How far do you really want to go in your mind, your personal feeling? What do you want to do? So, you want to stay as a high school referee?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's a good answer. But you got to remember, you need to know the rules.
At all
And
levels.
you need to know, if you're just doing high school, you need to know the rules. If you're doing high school organized basketball, you should know the rules anyway so you keep yourself out of trouble. Because that's why we use the new term, not by rule. You can say that if you know the rules. But you can't say by rule if you don't know the rules. You know what I'm saying? So, you need to know the rules. You need to keep your body well and fit and for every level that you're trying to go to. And you want to be responsible for you, for who you are, what you're doing at this craft. You got to find the love and the passion for this, because if you don't, you'll just be an AAU official the rest of your life. So you got to make that decision for yourself.
Okay, I can speak to that though, but there's that. I understand your question, and that can be overwhelming because whereas in the league that I work in, there's 30 players, only those 30 teams, only those 30 teams, only those 450 players. It's a much easier thing. But there are things that you can do as a high school official when you're working an AAU game, when you're working a grammar school game. Pay attention to the layup line. You watch and see. If you're refereeing a grammar school game and you see 3 people who can dribble, 6 people struggling, there's 3 people that would give you some information right there, a little bit. You talk to your partners a little bit about it. Even if you don't, in these situations where you're running from game to game quicker, you can always have a 2-minute pregame. You can always ask your partners, have any of you ever had this team before? What? You don't want to take your stuff and put it on them. I can't stand this coach. It's on my nerves. That ain't nothing to do with you. Just let you know, okay, that's a sticky point here. They like to press, okay? I gotta really pay attention. I gotta make sure I count. I gotta make sure I stay 4 to 6 strides behind the ball. They pass it around. They're really good jump shooters. One of the things we didn't talk about now, we'll talk about another time, is screener line defender. Up, down, rebound. When you're refereeing a jump shooter, there was a play in the first quarter, a jump shot. You got to take the jump shot, shooter all the way up, all the way down before you go to rebound. Run a shot up, and then you go to rebound, and you land on your toes, twist it, get hit late. Up, down, rebound.
Did you ever foul on that play in the first period?
My gut was that it was not one, but they didn't ever show a replay. It's his foot, his foot.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It's about the angle.
Yeah.
See, everybody saw the angle from here.
That's because that's the only one
my
I
angle
had.
was totally different from
Yeah.
what they were seeing.
I was hoping they would show another. They didn't show one.
You can
But
always work on your mechanics.
Yes.
You can always manage the game on any level. So always keep that.
Generally speaking, a foot to foot though on those plays, if you watch those plays, a booty sit is usually not a foul. You get yourself real straight to fall. You know, touch the cushy part first. That's a plan. That's a lot of planning in that. Versus when they spray out. That was good.
That's not the angle ain't gonna
But
change.
that is the way. So that's to answer your question. You watch it, or if you're there earlier, you watch the sophomore game. Usually they run similar plays. Varsity. And if you get there, you watch just the third quarter of the varsity of the sophomore game before you work. Or you've seen the varsity play before, because you saw them last week with Basil East. Now you got the sophomore game. You have a sense of what they're trying to accomplish. What it is it's not that you study each time. It's you just add to your computer a catalog of information. Always watching basketball. That's all you do. But it's not. I would think I get your question. That would be overwhelming to think that you need to know exactly what Prospect Heights runs up against Addison Trail, up against I get you. But you can find little ways.
And when you get in a certain conference, you know that you're going to be at different venues each time. So you may say you're in the Catholic League, you get signed Catholic League, you go to St. Lawrence, now you go to Fenway, now you go to St. Ignatius. Each venue, each place is different. The scoreboard is going to be in different directions. They may have one scoreboard at one location, two at the other. So you got to see where you're going to report at. You got to know the colors you're dealing with. These are things that you can get off your mind, off your plate before the game even starts. Know where the table, I'm going to present, or my presentation to the table is right here. Okay, those are things we kind of talked about. Those things are really important. You guys got to really try to put that in your mind. That's wherever you work. You know where you're at, know what you're doing. Who you gonna? I want to know who the AD is. You know, who's gonna take you to the locker room? Even at a high school level, they got people that will walk into the locker room. Now, you come freshman, sophomore, you may not get that privilege yet. You may not get a bottle of water yet, but you're working your way up to that level.
Hey, Mark, this is a jump shot. If you want to just talk about up, down, rebound.
Yeah. Okay.
Just talk about
So
it.
the trail is coming from trail to the lead. So freeze. He rotated. So we want the trail to get quickly down to the free throw line. He said to keep going. So it did something from the other side.
Oh, that's not. It's not the same play.
Okay.
I'm saying
Oh,
I can't find
okay.
it. So
Yeah.
up, down,
Whatever
rebound.
the minutes are, it was either 4:25.
Yeah, I have to think.
4:25. 4:25 to 3:30.
Here we go.
Oh no, 2:40. It was 2:40.
Yeah, 240.
Go back.
Okay, so these are the notes before we look at it. These are my notes for display. Up, down, rebound on all jump shots. Do your work early. Get below that screener. Get below that screener line defender. There was no screen on this though. I thought we might get to that point. So let's go to that.
So I hadn't seen this team play. I mean, I hadn't had these teams, but I seen them play. So I know this kid goes straight up and down on the jump shot. He don't turn sideways. Yeah, my angle is just different.
So that's the shot.
Well, what I would tell you, not knowing the contact, let's not look at the shooter. Let's watch the defender. You're telling me
It's right
coaches
foot.
teach you to defend this way. Just watch the third. Don't watch the shooter. Just watch third. That's not really how we close out. It's turning around early, right?
Right.
And just turn. That's not. And that's who we're refereeing.
Watch that right foot.
So something to think about. The left-hand shooter sticking his right foot out is not natural.
I will argue though, like if you look at his earlier shot, it's the exact same motion.
Yeah.
So
But it's his left foot though. What I was saying is he's a left-hander. If he's shooting like this and throws this foot out, that's not really natural.
Yeah.
That's a natural shot.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And it's definitely foul now. Keep going. player. Definitely foul now. Ball, you hit number cotton, you might be able to keep it. So I'm saying, because he hit nothing cotton from that far, yeah, he maybe didn't. That's a foul. So that was it though, but it's up, but now it's up, down, make sure that's good before you go to rebound, because we got 2 other people on the rebound. And on jump shots, rebound usually is not that competitive because they're so spread out. And usually on a long jump shot, there's a rebound on too. So it's not going to be the kind of rebound where it's 6 arms jumping all over the place. It's going to be a longer rebound. But up, down rebound, and in those leagues where they play man-to-man, it's screener line defender. So you know screener screen for who? For shooters. Screener screen for shooters. So it's screener first, make sure the screen is good, then the line, make sure it's a 2 or a 3, and then the defender. Does that make sense? So screener line defender, up, down, rebound on those plays. Got to get to those screens. The screener screen for shooters.